Hello all. So today I'm talking about a Mitsubishi Galant with the P0340 code, what it is and how you go about fixing it. And I'm going to put links down below for everything I'm looking at here. But what is a P0340 code? Well, it's a camshaft position sensor circuit malfunction. And what does this mean? Well, the camshaft position sensor sends information back to the onboard computer for timing, so it knows the location of the camshaft, and it can send out spark to the spark plugs and into the cylinders. And this usually means it either has a bad camshaft position sensor, or there's a wiring problem, or in the harness where it plugs into the sensor. And what would be some symptoms? Well, you likely would have no start because it wouldn't be getting no spark. There could be intermittent shutdowns. I've seen this before where like there's something in the wiring, or even the position sensor itself is just starting to fail and then work sometimes. But mainly with intermittent shutdowns, it's usually in the wiring. And the wires going to the position sensor just have an open or a short, and there's something going on there, and so it's just failing sometimes. And then when there is a connection, it's running, and then it hits a bump or something, and it stops running like this. So it could have intermittent shutdowns also. And where's the sensor located? Well, it's usually located right on the top of the engine. It's pretty simple to get to. It'll just have a 10mm bolt holding it in, and you can pull it out and remove it. It'll have a harness going through it with the wiring. Those wires go back to the onboard computer. So they're pretty simple to replace if it does go bad. And just to give you an idea of the cost, I'm going to jump over on Amazon, and they look like they're ranging from 22 to 51, right around that range. And one thing I would suggest is that you go with the name brand sensor. Since in the past I have gotten just the lowest cost one, and they've caused me issues where they weren't working. Not all the time, 90% of the time they're going to work, but sometimes these low cost third-party ones with no name brand have caused me issues in the past, where now I don't get them. I just go with regular name brand ones that I know would be good. But basically, however you want to do that, but that's the basic cost of how much they're costing right now. So what do you do if you have a Mitsubishi Galant and you have a P0340 code? Well, the first thing you do is you find the sensor on your engine, and then examine that wiring. Be sure it's good, be sure it's plugged in good, the harness is good, and all that. You could get a meter and test the wiring, because wiring could cause the same issue as a bad sensor, and that happens. So you could test the wiring. The sensor is a low cost part, so you could just get a replacement and see if the problem clears, and then you can start to troubleshoot the wiring. But as long as you keep in mind that the wiring could cause the same problem. And you could also check the fuse box, because if a fuse blown, it might be on that circuit, and it could have caused some kind of issue that's just not getting power for some reason. And 90% of the time, that's going to solve the problem. It's either a bad camshaft position sensor, or it's in the wiring, or in that harness that plugs into the sensor. If that doesn't solve the problem, then it could be something else. The onboard computer could be going bad, which is pretty rare. That usually doesn't happen. So most of the time, like I said, it's going to be a bad camshaft position sensor or in the wiring. So that's basically it. I just wanted to give a real quick overview of what you could do if you had a Mitsubishi Galant with the P0340 code. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.